very much about your character, except that she's the most powerful woman in the world. So there's a lot of speculation about who that might be and who that ties into in the original movie. Can you give us
Well, I think in the original movie, things that happen, she was behind, but you never knew it. It sort of makes sense when you see the present world of her influence then. She was always in the shadows, guiding and protecting and trying to shape what was happening. And it isn't until this moment in time, she's been with him his whole life without him knowing it. And it isn't until this moment in time when she steps out of the shadows. And these two, they work together, and he probably, I think, brought her in when she was very young and saw the potential in her. And so they've worked in tandem in some ways, in other ways not.
In other ways they add each other.
Barbara, you've dabbled in some other supernatural tales like the Insidious movies and way back in the Entity. Were you a fan of the original Omen, and do you look back on that a lot?
I did like it, and I'm glad I saw it before I knew anything about this and saw it with those kind of innocent eyes. Then I've seen it again since doing this, and it holds up in a totally different way. But yeah, I like the genre, so, some more than others, but I do like it. I like getting chills.
We haven't seen this interpretation of it yet, but does it have anything in common with the Insidious films you did?
No, not at all. No, they're both scary, that's about it.
So for female characters in horror films, it seems like they typically end up in movies like this and series like this, the villains, because it seems like the church doesn't give women power, but if you go to like the witchcraft world and the world of Satanism, they're equal opportunity, and sometimes the women are far more powerful than the men.
Interesting.
So what do you think about that in terms of this series? Do you think that's kind of the case here? Like, this is a nice balance between what you see and...
Well, it's interesting they made her a woman. They could have easily made her a man, and I guess you fill those shoes maybe. But they're very different. Yeah, it's good for me that he did, and he made her, it isn't just, my first question to Glenn when I read it was, is she human? And he said, yes. And I said, is she evil? And he said, oh, it's much more complicated than that. And it is. He's written an amazing character, and the relationships between all the characters are very fascinating. They're really different. It's not what you expect when you think Antichrist and Omen. It's really full of surprises. It's a wild ride that he's done. So, in answer to your question, she's not just one thing. And yes, it's equal opportunity, yeah.
You guys talked a lot about like working together on scenes and stuff like that. Is there a specific scene that you guys particularly enjoyed working on together that you can kind of tease and for the fans?
He and I?
Yeah.
We just did one the other day that was...
Yeah, I've loved the first scene that we did.
Yeah.
And the second scene.
It's
third,
a combination of, when the writing's good, acting is like licking icing off a cake. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And getting to act
and
with
when you're
Scott.
working with someone as talented as Barbara,
And Scott and Bradley is
wonderful.
amazing as Damien.
It's a wonderful cast.
Yeah.
It's a great cast.
Yeah. And so we have a lot of fun. We come into scenes going, we love this scene. And that's just a great way to get to come to a set, We can't tell you details.
I heard a rumor that you're doing some of the nastiest stuff you've ever done in your career in this show.
That's not I've been such an angel.
I know
He's
better.
so sweet, isn't he? That they cast him for that. I don't know.
No, it's very interesting. It's fun. Where do you get your rumors?
Can't talk about
It's an amazing. The scripts are wonderful. It's a pleasure working with Barbara and with Bradley and I love working on it. It's a lot of fun, and then working with Glenn Mazzara again.
Yeah,
he was on The Walking Dead while I was there, and it was
So is this kind of a nice way for you to like say, okay, I was Herschel for a while. I was a really good man.
I think there's life after her.
There's life after Herschel. Exactly. And now I am not a really good man.
No, I loved that show. I loved the cast and the experience I had there. So there's nothing. I'm not saying anything negative about that.
But it's kind of cool to see another side of you where you get to be
It's fun.
the bad guy.
It's fun. Yeah. Totally fun.
You mentioned some of the relationships that go on in the show, the whole world. Can you tease us a little bit about the relationships, specifically with Damien and Bradley?
Well, you know what? It isn't that I'm being coy. It's that it's complicated. It's not just one thing. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I just have been sort of shocked at what I've been given to do. And so our relationship is all kinds of things. I haven't seen anything yet. So I'm just sort of talking from this really subjective place. We're just reading the script and then acting the scenes. But I've been kind of blown away by the chances we've had, and I'm not giving you what you want, but in a way I'm very afraid of. I want you guys to get the pleasure that I get when I read the script, and I'm surprised. I think, oh, do I get to do this? Or how am I going to do this? Those kinds of things, you know, that's such a pleasurable thing for an audience to get to feel without being told in advance what it is that's going to happen. So that's why I'm not trying to be coy, but I just think I want them to get to have that experience, because it's a wild ride.
It isn't really like someone being possessed like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, where her head's spinning around. It isn't like that.
No.
I mean, it's even though that was a wonderful film, but it isn't.
It's very different.
It isn't demonic possession.
No. Do you know what it is? Is he's from the child in Omen, he has blanked out what's happened to him. And at this moment in time, I mean, Christ supposedly took his mantle when he was around 30 and was crucified when he was 33. Damien is now 30. It's the moment. And he has no recollection. And so it would be as if someone said to you, you're the Antichrist. What do you do with that information? And that's what the first season anyway is about, is his response to that. And it's really fascinating. It's an interesting question. I had someone say, I said that to someone, what would you do if you found out you're the Antichrist? He said, I'd be so relieved.
Obviously, the original film is the touchstone, the inspiration for this, but did you guys specifically pull from anything else to prepare for your roles and to act the TV show?
You mean other than my own badass life? I think every role you pull from your experience and pull from
Observation.
and you try to put a spin on it, the way you interpret what you're reading. So it's fun. I mean, the writers set the tone, and you look at it and interpret it, and maybe make a comment every now and then. But it's just totally fun to try to create different things, different people.
It's a grab bag doing a series for an actor, because you don't know what they're going to throw at you. You don't know what's in the bag. So you get thrown these things and you go, okay, how can I justify, why would she do that? And you talk to Glenn about it, and it's just, it's like life. You learn as you go. So there is preparation. And the film was, you know, most actors create a history for their character, but the film in Omen is the history for all of our characters in a way. So that filled in
It
enormously.
hits a tone. It's the springboard to go where we're going.
Yeah.
Do either of you get to say the line, "It's all for you, Damien"?
Say what? It's all for you, Damien?
There's your answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to say his name.
How far
It should
into,
be on our T-shirt, though, huh?
how far into the season are you at this point?
We're about to film we're into filming the 8th one.
Okay.
And we just have read the 9th one, and there's only one more to read. So that's how far.
Wow.
And I have no idea where it's going.
That's what I was going to follow up with. Was,
Yeah, no
are
idea.
you still in the dark on?
Completely. I mean, even though Glenn has explained the wide strokes, I have no idea how it manifests. And I'm going like this. I'm reading.
How is it to be on A&E? Does that give you more, leeway with what you can and can't show? Because A&E traditionally will show, darker stuff. But
I think so. I think so. But I think this is the golden age of television. In a
I
way.
think you're going to say the golden age of darkness.
Yeah. I think maybe that's a better way of saying it. But
That's actually good, isn't it?
very good. Yeah. Very good. You can do a lot now. Talent is being drawn to cable and to different delivery systems that are out there.
But there are things in this you wouldn't want to show kids.
You wouldn't want to, but they see it anyway.
Yeah, right.